So I'm trained as a lawyer. I did a law bachelor and law master and a law PhD, but I've been at the Hertie School since 2012. And I've always had an interest in social science and in interdisciplinary approaches to law. This is one of the things I like about Hertie and I like about the Jacques Delors Centre, is it's very open to interdisciplinary research, and we have a very close collaboration between political scientists, economists and lawyers, for example. My name is Dawson, and I'm the Professor of European Law and Governance at the Hertie School, and I'm also the co-director of the Jacques Delors Centre. I've been living in Berlin since 2012, but originally I'm from the UK, but I'm from Scotland. And I always say that one of the interesting things about being from Scotland is that we're used to having a mixed identity, right? That makes us more comfortable maybe with also having a European identity. I think one of the important things about the JDC is that it's within a university context, so it cares very much about high quality research on Europe. It also cares about contributing to the teaching and the educational mission of the Hertie School, but we're also a think tank. So we're engaged in policy work, and ultimately what we can contribute, I think, is combining these different elements, allowing our students to benefit from policy insights, but also on the research side, allowing our research to reach a policy audience and have impact, allowing the policy work and the think tank work that's being done at the Jacques Delors Centre to reflect up-to-date and cutting-edge research. So this combination of the different elements is really, I think, what makes us unique. So one is that, of course, we have policy briefs where we try to break down complex issues and explain them to policymakers, but also to the general public as well. We'll be doing that in the context of the European elections, looking at key topics that are in the debate surrounding the elections and trying to make them accessible and understandable and contribute to the discussion. I think a second thing is that we have a lot of events. We have our EU2Go events, which are morning events where we engage with policymakers, but also with the general public. And we have larger public events at the Hertie School where we invite political actors, we invite people in the policy space, we invite high-profile academics and thinkers. And of course, it's important for us also to engage with the Berlin community, and those events are public and they're open to everyone in Berlin, so we hope to inform our local public here as well about European issues. So one is the strategic position of Europe in the world and the role that Europe will play, for example, in relation to hopefully ending the conflict in the Ukraine. And of course in the EU that's linked to a discussion about enlargement of the EU. So is the EU going to enlarge to include new members in the Western Balkans and perhaps the Ukraine itself? And what does that mean for the EU? Do we need an extensive process of reform before the EU is ready for enlargement? I think a second topic is how the EU deals with contestation and how it deals with, for example, populist and Eurosceptic political movements. I think in the European elections, they're going to be a very strong force. So how does Europe fight back against populist groups? How does it deal with them? So I think these are two things where we're well equipped to sort of comment on those issues.